Hi, Virgo. This is your reading for the month of August 2026. All right, so I will be doing a general spread for you today. And then if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to comment below the videos. And then if you want a private reading, you know where to find me on my Amani Ife 777, okay, on Instagram. All right, so Virgo. I'm kind of getting that song, that song, Let's Stay Together, loving you whether good or bad or happy or sad. I'm actually picking that song up. That was like the first thing that popped in my head. So that's a very nice, heartwarming song. I do feel like it says a lot. It says a lot about togetherness. It may be the theme for you for August and how important it is to stay with someone that you love, it's like a family song, like your family and your mother, your father, whoever's involved. It's got a nice warm energy to it. Okay. Like no matter like happy or sad, you're still together. You're still kind of pushing through together. Okay. All right. So Prince of Cups is underneath. This could be a younger guy. You could be embodying this, or this could be someone external that you have in your space. Whether it doesn't have to be a guy either, it could be a woman or a guy. Okay, but they're a younger person, so this is someone that you may have some attraction to. If they're not someone that you're attracted to, then it's like uh, whatever type of attraction, because you could be a guy or a girl too, and you've got attraction to this person. It could be their aura, it could be their personality, it could be the type of work that they do. So it just depends on why this person is in your life. They feel new to me. Like this doesn't feel like someone. If it's someone that you already know, you just met them, like July met them, or like June met them. If this is someone that this also, it feels very new. Like I feel like this is someone that you're going to meet. Okay. Starting point has a Seven of Cups. All right, so the Seven of Cups is like I have a lot of dating options. Basically, I have a lot of options for men. I have a lot of options for women. I'm actually also kind of looking at the jewelry down here. Like there's a lot of decorative jewelry. I never used to pay attention to it before, but there's like some confetti and like jewelry at the bottom. So it feels like it's telling me something about your expenses and where your money goes. So, all right, I'm gonna give a couple of different things. So I'm gonna go with the fact if you're a guy, you could end up meeting a woman with like the Prince of Cups underneath, a woman or a guy. You could end up meeting a woman um, that is into like a lot of wears a lot of jewelry, and there's this feeling of like can I afford to pay for this person's jewelry? If you're a woman, that could also be the same thing. Like you want to spoil somebody, basically. You have options to spoil someone, or you are that person that is blessed, that is spoiled by other people. But there's if it's you that is happening to, there's this feeling where it could be happening to you too much, and there's an element of laziness. So either it's happening to you and it's creating laziness, or it's you're doing this for someone, and it's making that person codependent on you. Okay, or you're codependent on someone that does this for you. They buy you drinks, they take you out, they you jewelry, or vice versa. You're the one that's doing this, and it kind of, the spirit is kind of saying that you need to stop doing that if that's something that you're doing with somebody, or vice versa. I don't know. Nine of Cups. So there's happiness. I keep feeling the need to lean towards the idea of being spoiled, or you're trying to spoil somebody, and there's happiness with that. Of course, people like to be spoiled, but they don't always like to confront the fact that they are. So it's leaning more on that, like, are you spoiling someone? Like, you really got to sit with the idea, are you spoiling somebody? Are you spoiling someone? Like, unconscious, like subconsciously, are you spoiling somebody? And they're taking advantage, and they're like, okay, I have options with this, with Virgo. Like, I could ask for whatever I want, and I'm gonna get whatever I want from him or her, because they're gonna get it from me. They're gonna say yes to everything that I want, or you're the one that's doing that. You're the one that's you're spoiled. You may be the spoiled one, and everybody's saying yes to you. Okay. But it's kind of giving me this feeling with the Nine of Cups. Stay clear, stay clear of doing things like that, or you want someone to stay clear of doing things like that with you, like to you. You want to stay clear of that type of interaction. The stay clear idea with the Prince of Cups underneath could be, if that's someone new that is coming in, stay clear of that person. Like, be aware that person is going to do that to you. So I don't know, the spirit is kind of giving me the idea to kind of look out for that, or that could be a message for them to look out for it, to look out for that type of action from you. But it feels like you're going to be the one that needs to look out for that. Okay. And it's not only going to be one person that's going to try to do that to you. It feels like it may end up being multiple people that may try to do that to you. So stay clear, stay out of the way of that type of interaction. So even if you meet somebody for the first time, and they start the conversation off with an insinuation that, I like a lot of jewelry, I like this type of alcohol, do you like, be aware of, there's a technique to speaking that people are kind of letting you know what they like, so that you can get it for them, so that you could do it for them. So that's either you're doing that to someone, or someone is kind of bound to do that to you if you don't stay clear of that person. Or that could be a message for the person. All right. Four of Truce. All right. Four of Truce is like being trapped in my head card. Trapped in your head. What are you trapped in your head about? Wellness. It could be financial wellness that you have a concern about. You have concern about financial wellness. It could also be therapy. Like, there may be therapeutic things that you either need to do for yourself, or someone else needs to do for themselves. So if it's a guy or a girl that you're connected to, that person may need therapy. Whether you're a man or a woman, you may end up dating someone that needs therapy. And the reason why they may need it is because they have addictions to like material. Somebody's kind of materialistic that you may end up meeting. And that's why that message of staying clear of a particular person was coming through, because that person has some type of addiction to material things. And that could be something that you find out. I don't know how you're going to find that out, but that may be something that you find out with the Four of Swords being in the present. And you're like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that this person was materialistic. I didn't know that they had a house in another state. I didn't know that they were already doing this to another guy or girl. So it feels like you, I don't know, it could already be happening. It feels like you may end up in a situation with a person that is, they're like a traveler. Like, this is someone that does this on foot. How they come into your life asking for things. This is someone that is they're a freeloader by nature. So if you think you're going on a normal date, it's not a normal date. It could be, one scenario here, it could be a normal interaction, a normal occurrence. And then another abnormal one is you run into someone that has an agenda of using their materialistic tactics on you with the Four of Swords. They're using their materialistic tactics on you. So I'm going to give you a really perfect example. Whereas If you've ever had a moment where you were dating someone or you were with someone particular and you use that same tactic on someone that was actually genuine, karmically that may happen to you again. That may happen to you directly if you've done that to someone before. If you've never done anything like that to someone before, this is new. Like, this is your lesson. This is your lesson where someone may come into your life that they want to be taken care of, and they have materialistic tendencies. So the spirit saying stay clear is like, stay clear of those types of connections. But I also feel like you're not going to see. It's telling me that you're not going to see. You may not see that for a whole 7 years. Or maybe doing that for someone is therapeutic for you. Or maybe somebody doing that to you is therapeutic for them. I don't know. That's really interesting. Like somebody doing, in simple terms, somebody doing something nice for you, it helps them feel good about themselves. Like they feel like God if they're doing something for you. Vice versa. I don't know. Whatever it is that's going on there. Prince of Wands is in the future. So you have a Prince of Wands, you have a Prince of Cups. So all those energies that I was picking up either coincides with one of those. There could be more people showing up here soon with those people there. Ace of Sword and your instincts, okay? Your instincts has an idea. You have an idea. Whatever that idea is comprised of, okay? And your accomplishment has the Fool, sign of Aries. First major arcana, I see. All right. So the Fool being in your accomplishment is you're going to accomplish some type of travel, a journey, and it has something to do with these options. So if it's not only people options, it could also be options on where to live, whatever job options, whatever kind of options. It's new. There's a lot of purple here. So it's like you're using your intuition to make these decisions, or your intuition needs working on. I don't know. But the Fool is the journey next to the Seven of Cups. You're journeying to find the options that you feel intuitively are right for you. Whatever that means. You feel like it's right. So I feel the need to emphasize it that way because it's like, you may feel like it's right, but it may be wrong. You may think it's right for you, but it's wrong for you. That's why it's making me interpret it with that tone. You feel like it's right, but maybe it's wrong. Or it's wrong, but you're looking at it like it's wrong, but it's actually right. And that may coincide with the Prince of Wands that's in the future. So I'm going to give you a really good example. So your perception, you got two people here so far. You have a Prince of Wands and you have a Prince of Cups. Your perception of a Prince of Cups may be right. Like you're like, okay, this person is right for me. I'm going to stick with this person. I'm going to travel with this person. I'm going to connect with this person. You thinking that it may be right, it may be right or it may be wrong. The Prince of Wands is in the future. They're coming in, and you can use the same example that I just gave with the Prince of Cups, whereas your connection to the Prince of Wands, they're in the future. They're right. They may be the one that's right. They may be the person that you connect to that's right for you. Whereas the water sign, male or female, I get deceptive. So one water sign, male or female, you're connected to is deceptive, but you see them as right because the Seven of Cups and the Fool is right. They're right. Those cards are right next to each other. But the Four of Swords is in the present because you have a totally different person in the future that is not them. So the Four of Swords is like you're probably going to end up battling with yourself about why a water sign or a fire, whatever, why a water sign male, why one water sign male or female is not right for you. You're battling with yourself about that. But you have the right person is in the future, okay? Which is a fire, someone that's embodying fire sign male, Aries, Leo, or Sag. The Two of Peace, which is decision making in your spiritual self, next to the happiness. So you have a decision to make about happiness with a water element. Happiness here, like there's a decision to make about that, literally. and the spiritual self next to the Nine of Cups. Or there's peace next to happiness. There's a decision that needs to be made about that. Who to have it with, where to have it with. If it's moving, if there's options on where to move, you want to be closer to the person that lives. I'm kind of getting something about down south. Like there may be someone here that you know that lives down south, and your intuition is telling you I want to be closer to the person that's down south of wherever you are. It doesn't have to be Atlanta or North or South of Carolina. It doesn't have to Texas. It doesn't have to be literally down south of the United States, but south of where you are. Like I want to be closer. You're talking to yourself and you're like, I want to be closer to the person that lives south of where I am right now. I want to be closer to that person with the Fool. Could be an Aries. I want to be closer to water sign. I want to be closer to that person. Whatever it is. And the Nine of Happiness could represent September. You have July with the Seven of Cups. You have options where to move to, who to be with, who to hang out with, how to stay clear of the materialistic situation, whatever that is, whatever that materialistic situation is. The Prince of Swords with the Hacker. You have an air sign, male or female in the present, or you could be embodying that. This is your mental space. So this is not a person. This is how you think. You could be embodying Prince of Swords, and you're thinking. This is all your head space. You're thinking about an idea that you have. Some type of idea that has to do with the idea has to do on where to live, who to be with, who to date, who to live with, whatever the situation is. But it's emphasizing to stay clear. I get a district too. Like if you live in a place that has districts, maybe you should also stay clear of a particular district. It could be like a school district. It could be like a particular school district you should stay clear of with the Seven of Cups and the Fool. There's a school district you should stay clear of. Or if it's not a school district, it's a district, like an area of this particular area that you should stay clear of. You should connect to, or you should stay clear of. Because maybe if you're looking for homes, you're trying to make Seven of Cups with the Fool, you're trying to make the right decision regarding where to live. And you're evaluating happiness. You're evaluating where you feel like you'll be happy. That's why I was getting the down south idea and living in another state and living in the north, or wherever you are in the world. You're like, if I move over here, am I gonna be happy? If I buy this house over here, am I gonna be happy there? If I date this guy or this girl that they live over here and they're recommending that I move over to this area where I could be closer to them, is that the right idea? Ace of Swords with the Fool and the Seven of Cups. So you have a couple of different life-changing things happening here. You have one, before I move any further, one of them I was getting a lot of was trying to stay clear of dealing with someone that they're like a freeloader. I don't know if you're the freeloader or they're the freeloader, but staying clear of someone that is like that. But the Spirit also emphasized that you won't see that the person is a freeloader. Vice versa, they won't see that about you, whatever the situation is. But they may live somewhere. They may live somewhere where you deem yourself to be happy. Nine of Cups, like I'm happy over here, but I don't necessarily like this person, or I'm not feeling them like that. But I like what they're able to give me. I like them because they can give me XYZ. And someone may view you like that, or you view somebody like that, right? That's one. Another situation is moving somewhere where you know you're going to be happy, or you're meeting someone for the first time that lives in an area that you prefer, but maybe that's not the right option. So either it's an area or it's a person, okay? What's changing is the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is like, this is a physical card. So creativity Some type of creativity is changing. It's an ace, so I feel like you already passed this. It could be sexual, like you already had a sexual encounter with a Prince of Wands. So the Prince of Wands could be a fire sign, male or female. It's changing because it already happened. Something already happened with a fire sign. I'm gonna give another interesting example. If you're a woman, you had a water sign male that you were dealing with, but maybe, or someone that's embodying the Prince of Cups, you already had someone like that, someone that's soft and gentle and whatever. You already had that softness with that person, and you could have met a Prince of Wands later on, and that person is they're a little rougher. It could be sexual, like maybe somebody's literally they're softer and they're rougher. They're softer, and you're meeting someone that's a little bit more rough and with intimacy, and that could be the prince. Somebody's embodying Prince of Wands, whether as a woman or a man. Someone's rougher versus softer with the water sign and the fire sign. Or then there's also something going on with just somebody's motive. You're dealing with it. There's a decision to be made between two or three or different people here, and you want to understand what their motive is, or they want to understand yours. Okay, but you already slept. The Ace of Wands changing. You already had some type of encounter with this water sign woman or man, fire sign woman or man, and you're like, I'm getting what I want, but is the person also has an idea of what they're able to get out of me. So how can I navigate that, basically? Okay. Princess of Wands, the dancer. The dancer is in the resolution. You have a dancer, you have there's no doubt you have a lot of fire sign energy in the future. So I feel like you probably will end up, if you're not with them already, you will end up with a fire sign, male or female. You will end up moving closer to a fire sign, male or female, wherever they live. All this orange, this is someone that lives south of you. So it could be south, like down south in the United States, or wherever you live in the world. They live, you got to take a train, you got to go downtown to see them. You got to go downtown of wherever you are to see them. Right? You got to go downtown to see this person. Water sign is like uptown. A water sign energy is like someone that's uptown. And they may be uppity. Like the water sign energy may be an uppity person. Someone that you have around you that's uppity, whether they're a man or a woman. But you like the rigid. Like you like the rough. You like the hood person. I don't know. Whatever it is. You like the person that's a little more rough around the edges, rather than the prissy, rich person, whatever it is. I don't know. Interesting. You prefer the rough around the edges. You could be that person. Like you may be that person that is like, you grew up in a situation that was rough, and you want soft, or you still want rough. You want that type of environment, or you grew up kind of like, you grew up prissy, you grew up spoiled, or whatever the situation is, and you want the opposite. You grew up rich, you want the opposite of that. Whatever it is. All right, let's look for our outcome. But be careful. Like wanting the opposite of what your norm was originally, it comes at a price. The 8 of Swiftness is travel. So you are traveling. Look at all the reds and the oranges here for the future energy. Is that you are traveling this month to somebody. To somebody. You're traveling to them. Wherever you decide to travel, it's to get laid. Like it's a lot of fiery energy going on here. There's a lot of fire sign. Like you could be traveling to get laid. I also get a user. Like you may end up traveling to someone to get laid, but that person is a user. That's why I was getting all that lavishness and the jewelry and the drinking and the spoiledness is from, you may end up in a situation where you travel to someone that is a user. They're a freeloader. So the water sign could have been the right one, or the fire sign could have been the right one, but it's a used discernment type of situation where you really have to sift people out. You have to sift out people's motives, otherwise you end up like a four of sword in like a trap. You are the trap with a wrong person or the wrong situation. I feel like there's a particular message where don't go downtown. Like maybe you shouldn't go. I don't know if you're gonna end up in a situation where you need to travel downtown. You need to travel downtown of where you live to see someone, and it's advising not to do that. You could be traveling to a strip club. You could be traveling to a lounge. You could be traveling. You could be going out with friends, and there's something playing out that's really interesting, or a family, or wherever, whatever it is. Let me do another outcome on the Eight of Wands. It's interesting reading. Working hard. So the Eight of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands is you may end up working. You may end up getting some type of job that is in a particular area, and the outcome is the Eight of Pentacles and Eight of Wands, because you could be traveling for work, and while you're traveling for work you have this type of encounter. You meet someone, or if it's not work related, you're trying to figure out a way that you can get money to travel so that you can have some type of experience with someone that you're meeting, someone that you're bound to meet. But something is user about that person, so that's why it's saying to be careful. I don't know if you're using somebody, but you could be traveling to have this type of experience. Want some experience here that is highly recommending that you look out for somebody's motive. Wherever you decide, whoever you're dying to go see so badly. I don't know if somebody's trying to get to you like this, and this is what's playing out, and this is what is getting discovered. All right, Virgo. So let me know how it resonates with you. Be well. Take care. Bye.